Good morning, Carson Crew. Happy Monday. I hope everybody had a really good weekend and you guys were able to get outside at some point. We went outside for a couple of walks yesterday, but holy moly, was it windy.
Yeah.
Wowza. Anyway, it looks like it's sunny outside. The family and I are going to get ready to take a walk. So that'll be really nice to get outside. And then we've got some other stuff, school stuff, other things to do. All right, so if we say today is Monday, March 30th, what was yesterday? Yesterday was Sunday. And if today's Monday, what will tomorrow be? Tomorrow will be Tuesday. And we only have a few more days of this month. What month will start in a few days? What month comes after March? April. Way to go, guys. I super miss you. I hope you're doing well. I have a few coins and time that I did for you guys. And then I borrowed a few books from my sister. So what do these coins equal? And what time does that clock show? Think about what the shorthand is pointing to. Remember, that's the hour hand, and that's what it points to first. So I have a book I'm going to read to you. And then remember, today is our first session for our Google Meet. I'm going to do one around 9:15 and then one around 1:15 after I put Maxine down for a nap. So if you can't come to the first one, well, I'll be holding a second one. I'll be sending that to your parents soon. So I'm going to read this one, Spectacular Stone Soup, which is cool because we read a story, Stone Soup, in class. So this is a chapter book. I'm going to read the back. It says, her friend is right. Oh, it says, you never help people, Jawan says. Her friend is right. Stacy can't remember the last time she'd helped anyone. Now, Mrs. Zachary wants her class to be people helpers and prepare a spectacular stone soup together. This is so cool because we read stone soup, domino soup. Now we're going to read Spectacular Stone Soup. So I'm going to read the first chapter. It's by Patricia Riley Giff. Chapter 1. Stacy Arrow hung her jacket on a hook. Next to her, Jawan took off her coat. Stacy pointed to a sweater on the floor. Whose is that? No one's, Jawan shook her head. It's been here all year. It looks like spinach, said Stacy. Yuck, green spinach. A spinach sweater, said Jawan. They started to laugh. Circle time, Mrs. Zachary called. Chairs to the middle. We have circle time. I miss it. Stacy zoomed back to her seat. She grabbed her chair and started to push. Everyone else was pushing chairs too. It sounded like thunder. Stacy loved the noise. Mrs. Zachary didn't, though. Calm down, she said. Eddie raced in front of Stacy. Beep, yelled Stacy. She rammed into him. This sounds like craziness. Hey, Eddie yelled. Stacy gave him an I'm sorry poke. She turned around and zoomed down the aisle. She was going in the wrong direction. Who cared? It was fun to race all over the room. Then she remembered she wanted to sit next to Mrs. Zachary. Jawan was on one side of the teacher already. Patty was racing for the other side. Stacy gave her chair a push. Too late. Patty zoomed into the best spot. Look at these kids. They're all pushing and zooming. Seems like it's crazy for them to push their chairs to the meeting area. I was here first. Stacy gave Patty a pinch on her blue striped sleeve. Oh, that doesn't seem very kind. Patty shoved her chair into Stacy's ankle. Ouch, Stacy said. That's enough, said Mrs. Zachary. Stacy bent down to rub her ankle. Some friend you are, she told Patty. Is everybody ready? Mrs. Zachary asked. I'm ready, said Stacy. She turned so Mrs. Zachary couldn't see her. She stretched her mouth wide. She squished up her nose. She stuck her thumbs in her ears, then she waved her fingers. This looks like you, she told Patty. Patty opened her mouth. She let her tongue hang down. This looks like you, she told Stacy. Stacy wiggled her nose. Give me back my good friend's pin, Patty said. It seems like they're having an argument. Stacy made believe she hadn't heard. She couldn't find Patty's good friend's pen anyway. It was home somewhere. She was wearing her A1 silver shooter badge instead. She had won it at a carnival. At last, everyone was in the circle. Let me look at all of you, said Mrs. Zachary. Stacy sat up straight. So did everyone else. Mrs. Zachary liked to see straight-up children. Stacy folded her hands in her lap. So did Patty, that big copycat. This week, we're going to do terrific things, said Mrs. Zachary. She smiled at the class. Stacy loved Mrs. Zachary's smile. She had thick white teeth. They stuck out a little. Stacy stuck her teeth out a little too. We're going to talk about people helping people, Mrs. Zachary went on. That sounds good, said Eddie. I always help people, said Patty. Not always, said Stacy. She felt mean inside. I think we've all felt like that sometimes. You never help people, Patty said. Stacy thought. Patty was right. She couldn't remember helping anyone. Everyone began to tell Mrs. Zachary how they helped. She's probably like, she didn't know what to say. Tawana had given her sister a penny. Annie helped her grandfather in the backyard. I helped my baby sister, said Eddie. Stacy was sick of listening. Mrs. Zachary kept nodding her head. Spectacular. Stacy looked down. She wished she could think of something to say. She'd love Mrs. Zachary to say spectacular to her. She loved that word. It reminded her of stars and sparkles. This week, I'll read helping people books at story time, said Mrs. Zachary. We'll draw lots of helping people pictures, too. Eddie raised his hand. I think it's time for snacks now. You're right, Mrs. Zachary laughed. You never forget that. Everyone started back to the tables. Stacy didn't zoom this time. She felt sad. Why'd she feel sad? What were they talking about? And she realized she hadn't done it in a while. People helping people. She was tired of not being friends with Patty. She was tired of listening to how other people helped. Then she had an idea. She was going to help people right now. She smiled at Patty. She showed all of her teeth, even the ones in the back. Patty looked surprised. Then she smiled too. Oh, that caused Patty to smile. Wonderful, Stacy thought. She was turning out to be the best people helper in the class. Stacy let Eddie zoom his chair in front of her. She let AJ zoom too. Hey, she frowned a little. You're supposed to say thank you. Neither one of them heard her. They were racing to open their snack bags. Stacy wanted to stick out her tongue, but she didn't though. Perfect people helpers never did stuff like that. Interesting. So she realized that she hadn't been much of a people helper, and she realized that she wants to be one. So I guess we'll see what happens in chapter 2. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, making sure you play a little and work a little. And I'm here if you need me. And I hope you have a good day. Bye, guys. I miss you.